Good afternoon, folks. We are live and up and running once again. Get everything switched over and loaded up, and we will jump straight into Ball Pit. Alright. We should have audio, we should have video. I might have to drop the audio down a little. It's the music. This game actually has really cool music. I don't want to turn it all the way down. Let's drop it down to about here. We'll kind of ramp up as we go. What's happening, folks? See, you got a hydrate right off the bat from Lava. What's up, Lava? Welcome. Alright, so we are going to be checking out for the first time on stream Ball Pit, written as Ball X Pit, but I'm pretty sure the X is silent. This game was not on my radar, but it was on sale earlier on around the holidays, and so I picked it up. It was kind of related to the other types of survivor-likes that I play, and so I got it and just never loaded it up. And then I decided to try it on a whim and decided this would be a really good game to play on stream. And I have put a decent amount of time into it. But what we're going to do is we're going to start a clean save just so I can explain the premise and go through the kind of tutorial run in the beginning and explain how everything works, how all the mechanics are designed, point, and all that. And then we'll switch over to the main save. That way I can actually show off some of the stuff that I've unlocked. So what we'll do is we will create a new save. This is the main one I've been working on. You'll watch the little opening cinematic here. Babylon has fallen. A pit is all that remains. Now treasure seekers flock to explore the depths. Okay, so it dumps us right in, and I'll have to pause in order to keep things from going. So this game is a roguelite, kind of in the vein of Vampire Survivors, but it is primarily a combination of, I guess I can describe it as like a brick-breaking game, plus a bullet hell game. And its core concepts are fairly simple, but it is incredibly addictive. And so just kind of explain the basic setup here. We go into each run in the pit with a character. We start with the warrior, who has no innate abilities, but we have primary stats here which affect health, damage, baby ball count, which I'll explain a little bit later. And all of these are primary spread between the different characters. If we go into the run itself, this will give us just a real quick tutorial on how to move. We're using keyboard. The screen scrolls upwards. Alright. And enemies fall down in these tile sets like this. And the whole point is to destroy the waves of enemies and make it to the end. Our progress bar is on the right, the vertical bar. The glowing blue cube gem things are experience. Gold coins are money. Each character has their own unique ball that they start with. The warrior starts with bleed, which we can show in equipment. Every time it hits, it applies bleeding as a status effect, which causes the enemies to take more damage when they're hit. And the way it works is each character has a set amount of baby balls, which are those little white ones that fire, and then their primary one, which they fire, and it bounces around. When it hits the bottom of the screen, it returns to their hand, and then they can fire it again. Ooh, we got a stretch from lava. Upon leveling up, which is the bar over here on the left. Upon level up, just like we've seen in the other Survivor-like games, we get a choice of upgrades. There are 4 passive slots and 4 ball slots. And this rolls from a random table of things we have unlocked. And each of these, this is a passive, the baby rattle. 1.5 baby balls, which aim becomes scattered. This is the wind ball. Passes through enemies, slows them down for 30 seconds, but deals 25% less damage. Hourglass balls deal 150% damage, but the damage decays by 30% each time they bounce. Minimum 50%. And so we get a choice of either passives or balls or a mix. I'm going to grab the baby ball boost. Like this says, as the screen scrolls down, if the enemies get to the very bottom, they will hit your character, and our life meter is the red orb here. And if it depletes, then we lose the run. We want to try and destroy all the waves of enemies before they get to the bottom while progressing. If you've ever played something like Brick Breaker or Arkanoid, similar premise as far as how you want to aim and kind of try and maximize the amount of hits your balls are doing when they go. Also, when we level up, we'll get boosts to our stats for the run. Okay. Horizontal laser is pretty good. And I believe there's a multiplier on the balls when they ricochet. And that is a fusion reactor. That has a chance to drop every once in a while. I don't know the stats on what determines when it pops up. But whenever that pops up, you have the ability to pick the fission upgrade or some other things, which we can't do at the moment. Fission rolls from 1 to 5, and it upgrades the things that you currently have in your equipment 1 or more times. And it's just a random roll. So we got 2 upgrades, 1 for our laser, 1 for our bleed ball. Maximum upgrade is level 3. The horizontal laser, when it hits enemies in a horizontal row, will zap them and pierce all the way through. Those orange beams of energy. That's the laser going off. There's another fusion reactor. I'm going to see if I can hold off until I get more upgrades. I'll take rattle. Max that out. just grab it. See if we can get max level bleed and laser. Perfect. Seems like our DPS is alright, but we don't have any real way of piercing aside from laser. We'll kind of stay up close and try and get direct damage. Ooh. We could get burn. Burn attack. Attacks and does damage over time with burning status. So we're kind of stacking up bleed for additional damage. And also fire for continuous damage over time. Okay, let's go. Fusion reactor. Fusion combines two fully upgraded balls, combine their properties into one. Balls can only be fused once. Okay. This is where the game gets kind of interesting and fun. When you max out a ball at level 3 and some passives, you can fuse them together and it combines their abilities into one and it frees up a slot. In addition to being able to fuse them, certain ball combinations when maxed will evolve and create a completely new type of ball that can be upgraded and on likewise fused. For this run, I'm not going to worry too much about min-maxing everything, so we're just going to combine bleed and laser. Which creates bleed laser horizontal. So now single ball has the property of both. It'll apply bleed damage or bleed debuffs, but also pierce horizontally through rows when it goes off. When we hit the breakpoints on the progress bar, we will get a mini boss, which is a tougher than normal fight. Oh, we can get Ghost. Ghost is a piercing ball. Basically for the mini bosses, they all behave slightly differently, but they're stronger than normal, so we need to stack the damage on and kill them before they get to the bottom of the screen and do damage to us. If we get too close to the enemies, we get them within range, they'll attack, just like they would at the bottom of the screen. Exclamation mark means we're in their melee range, so we don't want to stay there. You can see the tile will crack as it gets damaged. Doesn't look like we get anything for Ghost and Burn. I have a graphic as of the latest update that shows all the different ball combinations and evolutions. I don't have them all memorized. Now the waves are getting tougher. That's vampire. This one leeches. And we can get something for combining that with Ghost. Let's see if we can get far enough to evolve it. throwing more of the tanky enemies in the front lines. Okay. Does a decent chunk of damage when they attack. But if we can get a fusion reactor, we can evolve Ghost and Vampire. Red potions will restore health, 10 to pop. Second mini boss. I'm most likely gonna die. Yeah, there we go. Okay, at the end of the run, whether we win or lose, the character we're playing gets experience and they level up and their stats increase. These letters are scaling, which affects how much the stats improve. This gives us a breakdown of the run itself, what we picked up, how much damage it did, our passives, total kills, resources, and everything. Nice stat wrap up. I kind of like it when the games will show you the results of everything you did, just so you can kind of have an idea of how effective your build was. Okay, now it's going to give us tutorial. In addition to the in-run dungeon exploring, we have kind of like a base building aspect of the game. This space that we have to work with is where we start, and we can put down different things. This is the tutorial, so it's gonna have me build a forest and a wheat farm tile. These accumulate resources up here. We've got wheat, wood, stone, and gold, our currency. Once a day, you can send all of your currently unlocked characters into your base, and they will harvest any active tiles that have resources available for you to grab. I only have one character, so we'll just send them out. They'll bounce around every tile that's in your constructed area for a set amount of time, and then the harvesting's over, and you'll get resources from the run of harvesting. Over here in build, we've got a whole lot of structures that we can build. For economy, warfare are primarily stat or ability affecting structures that you can build, and housing unlocks characters, and there's a lot of characters in this game. And so the core loop is going out into the runs, getting as far as you can to clear the levels, power up your characters, unlock new things, coming back to your base, building it out to maximize resource gain, and unlocking stats, stat boosts, abilities, and characters. And then as you proceed and beat the different levels with different characters, you unlock the next level, and so on. So just for example, if we were gonna continue, we would grab our character, and this is our level select. We need to beat the boneyard in order to unlock the next one, and then each subsequent level requires gears to upgrade our lift, which goes down into the pit, and you get gears by beating levels with different characters as you unlock them. So we could take the warrior back in again, but I think what I will do is switch to the main save, because I just wanted to show the basic setup and where the game drops you in and what the premise is. So we'll do that. We'll switch to the main save here. So as you go, I didn't show this off, you get the ability to expand, and I should probably just finish doing that right now. These blocks here can be demolished to expand your overall space for your city. Right now I have it sort of in transition because I want to maximize some of the resource stuff. It's not optimized by any means, but all these structures you see here are tied to either character unlocks or ability unlocks or stat unlocks. And I guess I can just show it here. We've built out more of the economy stuff just through unlocks. We have standard farms for wheat and wood. We've got stone. And then we have the advanced farms for wheat, wood, and stone. And some other things here which I haven't built yet. It was primarily gathering gold. So if we go harvest, I have it set up in this column here just so I can maximize all of the times the harvesters hit these mines. These are mines right here. You throw characters in there and they will mine gold. And so we send them all in here and they'll bounce kind of in this column. And again, this isn't optimized. You can set this up to get a pretty nutty amount of gold later on in the game. But for now, that's not bad. This building right here boosts the harvest clock. This one is just doesn't do anything on its own after you unlock it, but it's here to block the path. And this one will allow construction around it to get boosted every time they bounce off of it. So let's see how many expansion things we can afford. 17, that's not too bad. Gets more and more expensive as you go. And in addition to having different abilities, certain buildings will boost the abilities of the ones around them. So there is a way to kind of lay out all of the different buildings so that you're maximizing their effects. We'll probably worry about that when I get in the later game. For now, I'm still kind of in the process of unlocking stuff. But if we go here, you can see all the characters that I have unlocked so far. I am missing 2. I think one of them requires turning on the Twitch extension, which maybe I'll look at for a future stream. But as we can see, the different characters have their own starting ball and their own built-in abilities that affect how they play, and some of them are very different. For example, that's a good one. The Cohabitants, which are a pretty interesting pair. These are 2 characters you play at once. They are a team, and there's 2 of them on screen, so their hitbox is doubly wide, but they fire twice as much. You have Shield Bearer, who's pretty fun. He's a heavy kind of tank unit. He has a big shield in front of him that will reflect your own balls back at the enemies when they bounce. You've got the Juggler. Instead of shooting the balls in a linear path, he lobs them all the way in kind of like a big arc, so they fly out and hit in a volley instead of straight. Tactician is, which we'll probably take Tactician on a run later. This guy's one of the most unique of the characters you unlock. When you play as him, the game becomes turn-based. So basically, instead of the screen constantly scrolling, it scrolls one row by row, but you get to choose your fire trajectory every time. So it plays out like a turn-based game. Completely changes the way the game feels. And so let's take, who hasn't beaten the first level? Falconer is interesting. Falconer has 2 birds, and they shoot from the sides instead of from the character. So you can take Falconer. I want to get all the way through the first map, the Boneyard, to show the entire progression in the boss. So I'll take you. And who else hasn't beaten the first one? Take... Oh, the Flagellant hasn't beaten the first one. These are the different levels I've got unlocked. Okay, we can take this guy. His ability is, instead of returning to you, the balls will bounce off the bottom of the screen in addition to the top, which is pretty fun. Oh, so we gotta drop a meat redeem from lava. Seems like it's been a while since that one got redeemed. Okay, let's do that before we jump into a run. Let me pause. I'll just mute the game audio. And now I have toggles. In fact, maybe I haven't even done this since I got my new model. I remember turning everything off. All right, let's see what we can come up with coming off of the brainstorming session in the jam stream yesterday. Let's give it a try. All right. Okay, so a little bit into the game, I want to say 2 or 3 levels, and you unlock a building that lets you take 2 characters at once. For a good majority of the early game, oh, let me unmute the game audio. You can only choose one at a time. When you take 2, you get their combined abilities, which is really handy. I don't see any reason why you would not want to take 2 in after you unlock that ability, except for maybe more of a challenge. I don't know if the hitbox becomes larger when you have 2. Maybe it does because they're in a column. When you have the cohabitants, they're too wide, and that is a bigger hitbox. But overall, having the additional perks, I think, is nice. Okay, I unlocked the Vast Void. This is the last level that you can unlock. I have not been there yet. I figured since I just unlocked it, we can check it out for the first time on stream today. But first, let's see if we can go through the Boneyard and get revenge for our first run that we lost. Okay, we have access to a lot more balls that have been unlocked. Let's go sell. Sell splits into a clone on hit twice. This one pairs well with another one that I'll try and get for a really interesting evolution that does a ton of damage. We get the ability to choose 1 ball and 1 passive right out the gates due to a building I unlocked. But I don't see any particularly useful, so let's skip it. Can't re-roll it on the start. But right away we could see that the overall amount of things being fired with this particular character is much higher than our unupgraded character in the start of the game. Ooh. Gem Spring is useful. This is a passive. Every 7 to 11 rows spawns a Gem Spring. You hit the Gem Springs and it'll spit out XP gems, which is pretty nice for supplementing your level ups. There it is. They don't take damage, but every time you do a certain amount, it'll just keep spitting out XP gems you can vacuum up. Oh, I didn't mean to get that. Another one of the building upgrades we've gotten when we get the fusion reactor on Fission, it's got a minimum of 2 upgrades now. I think there's a third upgrade. I just haven't bought it yet. Okay, dynamite. Every 5 to 10 rows, spawn an enemy with dynamite attached to them. Destroying them will deal 334 to 835 damage to nearby enemies, but it's only one enemy. We've seen Wind. Charm has a chance to charm the enemy, and when that happens, they will turn around and walk up the board and attack the incoming enemy rows. This one, haven't messed around with a ton, but we know right here it can combine with lightning. So we can do that. See the one I want. You can also banish if we want to take potential upgrade and remove it from the pool. You can do that twice. Oh, we won't use that yet. But I do want to re-roll. Here's evolution. This is what we couldn't quite unlock in our tutorial run. When we have 2 level 3 balls that can be evolved, then that option pops up. Generally, from what I've seen playing the game a bit, it makes more sense to evolve for a good, better ball than to just fuse them, because you can evolve a ball and also fuse it once it's maxed out. But once something's fused, you can't evolve it. But I don't see the one I want yet. We'll take the upgrades instead and wait. Hopefully that doesn't mess up my run. Now we can evolve. Okay. Let's get Rattle. This will give us more baby balls, which should synergize with our Falcon since they shoot like machine guns. We'll evolve Charm plus Lightning that gets us Love Struck. Love Struck inflicts Love Struck on enemies for 20 seconds. They have a 50% chance of healing when attacking, which is not bad. The idea is not to let the enemies get close enough to attack, but if they do, it's a coin flip. But we can combine this with something else and just get that ability on. And then we upgrade these 3 times as well, which will improve its abilities overall. Coincidentally, I just happened to start playing this game maybe within the last couple weeks, but it was right after a big update. It come out at the end of January, so it's actively getting more content, which is neat. Let me drop the sound effects down. With all the things bouncing around, it can get kind of noisy. There we go. That's a little better. First mini boss. This one took us a bit to kind of clear through, but given the massive bombardment of baby balls, yeah, it's gonna die pretty quick. Okay, here's bleed again. We'll hold off. I'm looking for a specific one that hasn't come up yet. Rubber headband. This one I like. Your balls start off slow, but as soon as they ricochet, they go up in speed, and then eventually they go extremely quickly once they hit off things a couple times. And as you upgrade it, that speed boost gets even higher. Iron onesie. For each baby ball in the field, 0.5% more damage. Synergize well with any character that's got a lot of the baby balls out in play. And it didn't explain the egg sac. This one explodes into 3 to 5 baby balls on hitting an enemy, but it has a cooldown. That's the other reason why there's so many of them on screen. Let's see if we can grab another level up. Might re-roll for the ball I'm looking for. Ooh. This is vertical laser. These two, if you have them at the same time, they can be fused together to create a laser that hits in 2 directions at once, horizontal and vertical, which is pretty fun. It's actually something I want to pair with the build I'm trying to do here, but it had the one I want to get fused with cell has not shown up. Well, let's see if we can get lucky. Rerolls after you go through the first few will start to cost coins that you're getting in run. And that does scale and get expensive. Let's see if we can get at least get another ball in inventory. Oh, we can get this though. Warhorn. All baby balls deal 20% more damage. This one can be fused or evolved with the rattle. That's definitely worth it. Those go to waste. Man, still We're not getting lucky with rolls, especially our rerolls. Woof. Okay, maybe I'll go for... Maybe I'll go for laser first. Okay. Now we gotta wait for the other one to come back up in the rotation. Horizontal. But we can evolve here. Cornucopia. This passive. Each time a baby ball is created, spawns 0 to 1 additional baby balls. So it's going to increase the amount of things on screen, which will do more damage, but also give us a bonus based on the onesie, which just gives us a flat damage increase for the number of baby balls on screen. Our passives are actually aligned pretty well. I just need to get the rest of the components to do the build I'm thinking of, and we'll see if I get lucky. Here's mini boss 2. This is where we died again in the first run. The ballista. This one shoots projectiles, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Whoa. That's not great. We don't stick too close to the top of the screen, because if the enemies land right on top of us, we're in their melee range and we start taking damage. Wow, we could start banishing things. I can't reroll. I'm out of coins. Alright, I guess I'll have to take Stone Effigy. Might be in a bit of a bind because I can't reroll anymore. Stone Effigy creates a character or an NPC that'll come up from the bottom of the screen and attack things. It's friendly. Not terrible, but I don't really use those too much because they don't seem like they do a ton of damage. Oh, there's horizontal. Okay, we need that. There's another fusion reactor. See if I can avoid stepping on it. I'll get my last upgrade. And laser node can evolve them. Perfect. Okay, this gives us several options, actually. We want Holy Laser. Hits in 2 directions instead of 1 at a time. Interestingly enough, this is something I learned a little bit later. If you fuse another ball, whether it's a regular one or an evolved one, with the Holy Laser, and that fused ball applies some sort of status ailment or debuff, the laser will apply that debuff when it goes off, which is pretty handy. Okay, coming up on the actual boss. Might not actually get the ball I need, which is kind of annoying. Let's see, hold on. What can we combine with egg sack? Let me look at my graphic here. Oh, that's we get shotgun, that's right. Okay, we can do that. Iron is a heavy ball, but it's slow. When paired with the rubber headband, though, when it bounces, it will pick up a lot of speed and kind of steamroll through things. It does pretty high damage. Here's the boss of the first zone. This is the Skeleton King. I'm gonna do a lot of damage before his life bar even fills up. His deal, and we probably aren't gonna see it because he's gonna die pretty quickly here, is there's a lot of projectiles on screen, but you can only damage Skeleton King up on his crown. So if you don't have a way to get your balls up there, it's a little bit difficult. And now he's dead. Okay. Well, 18 minutes. It's kind of a long run. But not bad. We really didn't have any of our optimized builds done. As you proceed through the game, you'll unlock the ability to go into endless mode, which I'd like to do to kind of show off the build I was trying to get. We'll see if we can last long enough to do it. This will give us more things, more resources and stuff to accumulate as we go. But the waves of enemies are going to scale and get more difficult as we go. Kind of wanted to hold off on getting that, but now we can fuse egg sack and iron. It's the shotgun, and we can fuse a shotgun with charm and free up spots for more balls to build out our arsenal here, which we're gonna need that damage if we want to keep going through endless mode. And once we have all of our upgrades maxed, until we start evolving and fusing things to make room for more things to roll in, it'll give us a choice of resources to get. I'm going to get gold. I'm still trying to reroll for a specific one to combine with cell. Just has not come up yet. It's kind of unlucky for the entirety of the run. Now we got more of the mini boss tiles, more of them at once. It really needs a fusion reactor. I can make some room. There we go. Ah. Okay. Let's get shotgun. Shotgun shoots 3 to 7 baby balls, iron baby balls after hitting a wall. They move 200% speed, but destroyed upon hitting Again, more projectiles on screen, more damage scaling, more DPS overall. This is actually a pretty nutty set of things in our equipment. Okay, get this one maxed out, and then we're going to fuse Shotgun and Love Struck to make room. We are looking for Broodmother. Broodmother has not come up a single time this run, which is very annoying. In fact, I might banish some of the other power-ups I don't want to see anymore. Since we can't get any more passives, it's all just balls that are coming up. Maybe I'll banish a couple that I don't want. Wild Spanish Wind. Okay, well. I guess we'll burn our rerolls to see if we get it just by sheer luck. Nope. That's annoying. We'll have to take one. It's bad there's no way to just decline the update or the upgrade at all. I think you can do that. So we'll take light. What we're going to do is we're going to fuse Shotgun and Love Struck. That'll clear up another slot. So it's not the end of the world, but we'll either need to pick up Broodmother or something that combines with light so that we can continue to make space. Fuse these two together. The abilities will be on one ball. Love Struck, Shotgun. I don't think Love Struck's that useful an ability. Seems okay, but it doesn't really do damage. Still pretty good DPS. Okay. This gets us Love Struck again. Let's see, what does my table say? We can combine, light. Oh, that's steel, not iron. Could do light plus laser. We don't have it unlocked, otherwise it would say in the synergies. Okay, we know my table here tells me these will combine. It's something I haven't unlocked yet. More mini bosses. We need to get these to 3. And then we can evolve them. Let's take the fishing. And when the next one drops, now we're maxed out. I think our DPS is alright. Eventually the scaling enemies is going to make it harder for us to take out the waves, but we're still doing okay for now. On the right, where it says endless depth, I believe, I don't know if there's milestone points, but it just keeps counting up. My record is 160 something, I think. Apparently the endless mode was, I don't know if it was the most recent update, but it was somewhat new edition. The runs used to be finite before, but people wanted the ability to just keep going and test their builds out. So now there's just endless mode, which is cool. Alright. Here's something I don't have yet. Laser beam. Emits a laser on hit that deals 44 to 62 damage and blinds. Okay. Oh, there it is. Blinded enemies will not attack when you're within their melee range. Okay, now we've got open slots, but not a lot of money for rerolls. So I'm gonna have to get lucky if I want to get the Brood Mother. Pray to RNGesus. Three of the mini bosses? Yep. I think we passed the record. Okay, we've got a couple options here. We can fuse, we can get egg sac again, and I know that this is the upgrade I didn't take. This is voluptuous egg sac. If I combine this one with cell and fuse these two, then maybe we try and start all the way over to get Broodmother. The upgrade I'm trying to get is called Maggot, and it is very, very powerful. It's great for doing like a giant baby ball spam build because you can combine it with this. But I'm not getting lucky with my drops, so we'll try this and see how it works. Assuming I even last long enough. Getting harder to kill the waves. They're making it further down the screen. DPS might not be able to keep up. Oh boy. Okay. Voluptuous egg sac. Oh, I should have explained what that one does. Explodes into 2-3 egg sacs upon hitting an enemy and has a cooldown. So basically, even more baby balls on screen at any given time, which is good, but I don't think it's going to ultimately be enough. Yeah, we're done. It's a new record. Yeah, I guess 205 was our previous best. Okay. That's fun. I don't think I've done that combination yet. Falconer plus Flagellant. Okay. The passive resources that we picked up. Let's move this stuff over. I've seen some interesting YouTube videos about how to kind of min-max your layout in your base so that you're making use of things like Veteran's Hut, which boosts all of the houses around it as far as their experience gain. As long as they're within this box, they get that bonus. Oh, worry about that for now. Okay, send the group out, grab some more cash. These must all be blueprints found in the last level. Okay, we're going to go in and sight read the Void. And I think I'm going to take that same combination. Falconer and Flagellant. That was fun. Maybe I can actually get that maggot laser build up and running. Kind of show off what it does. Okay. The Vast Void. I'll take laser. It's like we're in space. There it is. Figures, get it at the beginning of this run. Broodmother. 25% chance of birthing a baby ball each time it hits an enemy. So now we need Cell. So let's see if RNG decides that I'm not going to get that one. Whoa, that is a hazard. It looks like a black hole. Is it eating my balls? Come on, Cell. Oh, okay, that works. Oh, I thought that was the other one. No, we can max that out. Still looking out for Cell. Okay, enemies are tanky. Oh. Oh. I'll take that. I think in general, it's a good idea to not just burn our rerolls if there's an upgrade we can actively get for what we've got so far. We'll think of something to pair with lightning. There it is. Well, that's lucky. I don't have a passive yet. So I need to fix that before we get the fusion reactor. Fleet Feet increases movement speed by 10% and move at full speed while shooting. I want damage. Oh, let's grab it before it gets off screen. No, we don't want that one. We'll wait till the next one drops and we'll fuse. Broodmother and Cell. I'll get us Maggot. And then we need the other laser. There it is. Okay. Onesie again. Kind of similar passive build if we just get lucky with our choices. But let's see if we can do it better than last time. Okay. Oh, Maggot. Infest enemies on hit with maggots. When they die, they explode into 1 and 2 baby balls. That, if you pair it with the laser, is pretty strong. That's why I'm trying to build for that. let's see, when the status effect gets inflicted, the enemies have these little swarming grub things all over them. First mini boss. Right. A new blueprint. Party house. Unlocks a new character. There's the other laser. Okay. We're on track. Gotta fuse those. Get holy laser. Get this one 3, then we fuse that one with the maggots. Get maggot laser, and then think about what we're going to build out next. There's another build I've been trying to get, which requires a different set of specific balls, and I've not been able to do it yet. Maybe in a different run. Okay, we can combine this one to get voluptuous egg sac. So far, DPS is holding up decently well. Focus on leveling up laser. Whoops. Oh, well, that might do it. Not quite. One more for the laser. And one key factor that's making it a little bit slower. We don't have gem spring yet. If it pops up, I'm gonna grab it. That was pretty useful in the last run. Okay, now we can fuse these two. Holy laser plus maggot. Now when the laser goes off and it pierces through enemies, it can inflict that grub status. Which is useful when there's a lot of enemies. A little bit tougher when there's not as many on screen. But yeah, that shredded that mini boss. Okay. Let's see if we can get that last level on the cell. Now we gotta think what we can combine with lightning. Where's my graphic? We could do lightning rod. That should be lightning and iron. I guess it didn't pop up because I didn't do it in reverse order before. Alright, we'll see what we get. Ooh, another blueprint. +1 bonus to strength can be upgraded infinitely. Ooh. That's cool. That's going to be what will get us some really busted builds later, I think. So there's infinite stat upgrades as long as you have the money. So that's what incentivizes you to build your base so that you get a lot of resources. There's infinite upgrades. So you can just make some crazy stats on the different characters. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like the golden eggs in Vampire Survivors. What kind of cell can we do? We could go for another egg sack if we get really lucky. Let's do that. But I really need some more passives. Kind of unusual to only have one this far into the run. Looks like the boss is that thing that hit the Kingdom of Balls in the beginning. Let's see. Ice does not fuse with anything here. So we reroll. Oh, there we go. I wonder if it'll let us fuse two of the same evolved ball together for double voluptuous egg sack. I don't think I've tried to do that yet since I've been playing this game. Okay, now I have two. Oh, now it shows up. Well, I don't think we need more than one maggot. It really needs a good passive. Let's see if we can get the rattle or the horn. They just haven't dropped yet. We're coming close to the boss. Ooh, okay. I'll take that. A little bit late in the game to get it. If we, assuming we beat the boss here, we'll go endless and see how far we can go with this build. The moon. Okay, just the moon. Doesn't seem so bad so far. Projectiles are getting shredded by my lasers. Yeah, if we didn't have this, it would be considerably more difficult to deal with. Ooh, there's the horn. It's moving. Oh, there we go. Now we got more projectiles. There aren't any ads on screen to trigger my laser. Oh, oh, okay, I see what the black holes do. They drop me in different parts of the map. In. You're a real shame to die. Oh, gem spring. Better late than never. On. Gotcha. It's a void trophy. For every level you beat, you get a trophy that you put down in the town, and every time you beat that level with one of the characters, you get a passive boost to your stats. Okay, decent amount of experience. Oh, we can't go infinite on this one. Okay. Well, let's see what we got. We can get some new characters, or a new character. Party house. That is definitely useful. Okay. As long as we hit the shield bearer's house, it should build those structures relatively quickly. Yep, there they go. The carouser. Put that here for now. There's one that gives me a bonus to all stat buildings. Where is it? Well, I'll figure it out later. It's not super critical right now. But that stat... How much does it cost? So 700... 2 bonus strength plus 100. Okay, I'm gonna need more stone. Oh, but the upgrades have to be constructed each time. Okay. We still have a handful more blueprints that we need to get. Probably all the other stats in that level. The infinitely upgradable stat buildings. Let's see, what does the carouser do? This dude starts with charm. Life of the party. Balls can briefly orbit. Oh, that's right. When they come back, they'll orbit around. Okay. Let's take Falconer and Carouser. And we'll go back into the void, see if we can get some more blueprints. Now for this one, let's try something different. There's an upgrade that I don't have unlocked, and since we have charm, let's see if we can get it. Oh, I see. I wonder if they'll do that for a certain amount of time before they go away. Yeah, it looks like it. That's very different. This actually motivates us to get somewhat close. Maybe I should have gotten the onion. That inflicts damage when we're near the enemies. Okay, there's 2 vampire ones I need. We need charm plus vampire and charm plus dark. So I have to get charm again. At least that doesn't do damage. Maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen charm go off yet. It's pretty rare. Let's say, where's our encyclopedia? How many balls am I missing? There's a few. I haven't unlocked every possibility in the game yet, but almost all of them. We should also look at what we can combine with lightning. Get lightning rod. Okay, this is the first one we need. New evolution. Succubus. Each hit has a 4% chance of charming the enemy for 9 seconds. Heals 1 hit when hitting a charmed enemy. Black hole's trouble. All my orbiting projectiles are getting nullified by that. It's no good. Okay, we can combine this. Oh, nope. We're gonna go lightning rod. Okay, next drop can involve those two. Get lightning rod. I'm gonna die. Okay, we need vampire and dark. Dark we haven't picked up yet. That one is a pretty powerful shot that gets destroyed on impact. Yeah, might be screwed this run. Yep. I don't think we built right for damage there. Okay, we need this upgrade. Oh, I forgot about Magnet Factory. I'm going to systematically start trying to get more upgrades bought and done. Okay, we need to keep an eye out for upgrades on stat scaling. Strength scaling to B, that's useful. Imagine this goes up to S, A or S in total. Okay. Let's go back in. Corrals are, that's tough. Because of the black holes, that makes that level pretty difficult. Let's try a different pair. I want to stick with Falconer. But let's go Falconer plus Shield Bearer. This should be fun. Shield Bearer's got kind of a nutty ability. Oh, we get laser. And Gem Spring. Nice. So for Shield Bearer, that shield that's in front of Falconer, the lead, every time my balls bounce off of it, they will bounce back with a damage boost. And so you could do some insane things like get right up in front of something and have it bounce off for a boatload of damage if you just have the trajectory right. And so Shield Bearer kind of motivates you to get close. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna fuse these two to get Lightning Rod. And then let's see if we can go back for Maggot Laser again. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense to get right up next to the enemy. Right outside their melee range, but close enough that the rebounds just steamroll them over. We want both of these, but we'll get rattle first just to get more. And that also goes for things like gem spring. We just get right next to it, let our baby balls destroy it at close range. Nice. Okay, confuse lightning rod. Or evolve. Kind of using those terms interchangeably. But we evolve lightning rod. Then we'll need to look out for cell. Give me those levels. Okay, let's get laser first. Doesn't matter which order. We're gonna get them both. Kind of similarly when laser's proccing and bouncing off at point blank range, stacking up a lot of piercing damage. This one's good. Magic staff. So things like laser will take up or hit a larger radius. We want to keep an eye out for the horn to pair with the rattle, and then the onesie. Lightning rod. This applies a status kind of similar to maggot, but when you plant a lightning rod on the enemy, every 3 seconds it goes off and it hits a radius. It's kind of like a burst all the way around, which is pretty handy. Now we need cell. I think it's a passive ability on the shield bearer, but that character, whenever I play with him either on the team or as the primary, vacuums up all the experience orbs, so I don't have to go and collect them, which is pretty handy with gem spring, since all the stuff that it spits out will just fly towards me and I'll be able to collect it pretty quickly. And then for the mini bosses and the regular bosses, actually, if we can get right up in there and have the balls bounce up and down at close range, it shreds them ridiculously fast. It's a little bit tricky because the falconer's birds are shooting at an angle, versus if I was point blank, they'd be bouncing straight up and down. but still. Okay. Hospital. Gain 1 bonus endurance. Can be upgraded infinitely. Okay, that's the health one. Okay, sell. Sweet. That's lucky. I've never taken this one. 10% chance to dodge. Seems not that useful. You just don't want to be in a situation where you're getting hit, period. Okay, now we can evolve Maggot, fuse that with laser, and now we gotta think of the next thing we're gonna pair with Lightning Rod. Maybe laser again. Laser Lightning Rod. Put both statuses on. We'll see what the game gives us. Ooh, there's Horn. Okay, we'll go level 3 here so we can fuse this with laser. I wonder if the area of effect one affects the burst around for Lightning Rod. I assume it does. It's still an area of effect. Oh man. Ah, there's the onesie. Yeah, I think this is the play here. Lots of baby balls on the screen. My question is, when we evolve passives, if it just merges them together, or if we get the bonuses of both still. I have to ask someone who knows this game better than me. Okay, we need to fuse laser and maggot. Sure. do that next. Now we can get rubber band. And now we have a lot of room for more balls. I think we're going to hit the end of the level before we fully trick out our inventory. Okay, that works. Either brood mother or cell would be good. No, here we go. We have enough room to do 2 lasers. Combine that with lightning rod. If we can get the upgrades in time. Maybe I can re-roll and get lucky. That works. And I don't think we'll have a chance to put that into play because there's no endless. It's a shame. This particular loadout is working pretty well. Boss. Because it's a big target, if I can get the heavy hitting balls to ricochet at close range, I think overall our DPS is better than the last time. Just have to be careful not to get too close to get shot. Yeah, it's shredding the boss pretty well. When it starts moving, it'll be a little bit more difficult. Well, maybe not. If it moves into the path of my ricochets. One more passive. Rubber band? Rubber band? Oh. Lame. That's probably not going to matter. Okay. Be too careless. Almost got it. Got it. Marksman's Guild. Okay, that's the stat for dexterity. Oh, there's 3 of us now. I wonder if it's going to show every character we beat that boss with. Okay. More stat buildings. I'm going to put all these over here for now. When I stream this next, I'll probably have the entirety of, well, let's unlock it now. All the space open and probably set up in a way that's going to make it optimized for what I want to do. Just burn a bunch of money here. Fortunately, they're not that expensive. Yeah, we got them. Now in the cast list, it should show I guess this is the base stats. I wonder if the things here are including the bonus. I'm not going to assume it does. Why strength looks so much higher. They're still missing one more main character. Okay, that's maxed out. Gunsmith. Bonus ball starts at level 2. Okay, that's pretty useful. Extra ball when you start the run. This is the one that upgrades our fusion reactor. Minimum of 3. And what I'm going to do is move everything that's not upgradable, anything maxed out, up into the corner. There's a lot of upgrades I need to do yet. Which is why I think I want to spend some time looking at ways to set up all of my resources and money so that I can farm a lot of gold at once. This one's done. This one's not done. Oh, what's this do? Ah, okay. There's still a lot of things that need to be upgraded. Kind of thinking I want to do all of the mineable or harvestable resources on one side, and then all of the characters and stat buildings on the other, so they're separate. Like this whole column here is going to go away. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to set it up so that you can mine things faster. But first, we're going to go... One of our buildings lets us pay money to harvest more than once. So we're going to do that and look at these last ones built. Get some more money. Got out. And it starts at level 3. Okay. That one's done. That one's done. got some more in here. That's useful. Relic collector. All new passes will start at level 2. This one, War Room, send characters to complete levels on their own. I'm not in a super big hurry to build that since I'm trying to go through levels with the characters. That one, also pretty useful. There's some more things that I want to build over on the economy side too. I realize my head's blocking the explanation, but we've got a couple things like market, allows you to exchange gold for other resources. Workers Guild lets workers gather up to 24 hours worth of resources while the game is closed, which is nice. Roadkeeper, increase movement speed during harvests. These are the harvesting hubs, I guess you can call them. And then we've got one more unlockable character. Yeah, a lot to do. I think what we will do is we will call it there for today. This game's going to be an off and on game on the schedule for streams. This one's going to replace Sectori for now. I really like Ball Pit. There's a really cool kind of upgrade system and a lot of experimentation with builds, and I still haven't unlocked everything yet as far as the balls themselves. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 that were released post-launch. So yeah, I will be returning with this one at some point soon. And we'll just kind of check in, especially if an update comes out. We'll definitely be looking at whatever's changed and whatever's new. That being said, let me see who is online that we can raid. Not a ton of people I know online. I wonder if any VTubers are playing Ball Pit right now. Let's go take a look. I don't see a ton. We see Afroman's online. This was someone we found through Abyss, I believe. He is playing Yakuza 2. We can go head over there and see how things are going. Let me go ahead and queue up the raid. We'll mute this and go to outro. And we will call that a stream for today. Hopefully this good first look at Ball Pit was interesting. Like I said, we'll be back with this one again for a bit. I need to work on next week's stream schedule. We're going to be back primarily on the weekend again for now due to work. But should be coming back with a drawing stream and some other stuff. So in the meantime, thanks to everybody that stopped by today. Hope everybody has a good rest of your morning, day, or evening. And I will catch you folks in the next one. Now let's go see how the Yakuza's going.